Morning, everyone, and welcome back to Learn Together YouTube channel and also to the Nitty Gritty Cafe on Instagram. Today, we're talking about what are the qualities of a good husband? How do you know you're a good husband? So, I have this picture on here, and it just shows Christ at the top. So, as a Christian, my belief is Christ is the head of every household. And under that, we have husband. Then we have a few things which say protect family, lead the family, provide for the family. So, the major three that the husband has to do for his household is to protect his family, lead the family, and provide for the family. So, in another talk, we will talk about what are the main responsibilities of the wife. So, let's get into it, everyone. Let's talk about what the husband should be doing. How do you know you're a good husband? All right. So, what are the responsibilities of the head of the household, which is the husband? So, here we have five things. Security. So, one of the main jobs of the husband is to provide security. So, that means physical security, as in a home to live in that feels safe, but also financial security, and also emotional security, so that the wife is feeling safe. So, if I have a problem, I should always be able to run to my husband and feel like I'm going to be safe in this area. I'm going to feel safe with my husband. So security is number one. Then stability. That has a lot to do with, making sure that the household is stable, meaning that you are normally within a job, not changing jobs every 2 months, or not working every 2 or 3 months. So stability, because you need continuity. And just remember that each of these will affect also children if they're in the house, because if a wife doesn't feel safe or secure, or stable, then those things will come out in her emotions and in all the interactions that she has with the children, etc. Support can come in many ways. Support for helping to take care of the children, support for helping to take care of the household, support in her dreams if she's working outside the home and coming home, and making sure that she has that support structure around her. Don't forget that most of us, when we go to work, we don't have support. You're there just to work and come home, and all your emotional support is really with your spouse. So support from the husband, a structure, meaning that we should know what is going to happen when. There should be rules. There should be, knowing that, today I'm not saying, okay, I'm coming home at 5, but I really come home at 10, or I'm coming home today, but I'm not really coming home. There should be a structure in the house. The children should know, if you do this, daddy is going to give you a very stern talking to. There should be structure in the household. Sensitivity. And I know we don't normally associate sensitivity with guys, but husbands, you should know your wife better than any other person on this earth, except for God. If your wife comes home and her face looks a certain way, you should be able to tell, this is not right. This is not my wife. Something is happening. And you should be able to talk to your wife and say, hey, why don't you sit here for a second? Let's figure out what's going on. Give her a foot rub, Talk to her, rub her back while you're doing all of this, and figure out what is going on. You should be sensitive to her the changes in her emotions. Don't tell her, it's stupid that you feel this way about this. We feel the way we feel, and sometimes we can't help the way we feel about something. Somebody might have said something that, just touched the wrong button, and be sensitive to that. You be the shoulder that she cries on. You be the person that she feels secure with enough that she can, talk to you about absolutely anything. So those are the roles. So if you are a husband and you are doing these things, you can say, yes, I am doing this well. Right? And then the last thing I would like to talk about today is the top needs for the woman. So in the next chat, we will talk about the needs of the men. So here we have the top 4 needs of the women. Number 1 is security. Security can come in different ways. Physical security, as in she needs a home to live in that she feels safe in. There is emotional security, knowing that your husband will be there for you. And Then there's financial security. So where we talked about stability before, it comes back and it's wrapped up in security here. So knowing that financially we have security, we're not going to have food today and not have food tomorrow. We're not going to not have a house to live in tomorrow. Number two is meaningful conversation. And boy, oh boy, do I hear a lot of people saying, oh, my wife likes to talk. Well, God gave us the need to talk. We need to talk. Sometimes we just need to figure things out. And so let your wife talk and listen. And she's not asking you to solve the problem most of the time, because if she wants you to, she will tell you. But she just needs to talk, because this is how women process. And so let her process, let her talk. Number three, emotional affection. And I'm going to pause here for 2 seconds. Emotional affection is not the same thing as sex. So you will notice that number 4 is sexual intimacy. Emotional affection is non-sexual touches. That could be included in, the compliments that you give. Hey, baby, you look good today. And you give her a little kiss on the cheek. You touch her forehead, you touch her hand, you hold her hand as you're walking. It's the non-sexual thing. So just make sure we're not jumping into the sexual things, because for a woman, we need all of these 3 things first before we feel like going into sexual intimacy. So sexual intimacy for us is like the icing on top of the cake. So we need the cake, and that's the icing. So if you do the top 3 things, then number 4 will come easily for your spouse. So men, husbands, if you know you're providing all of these 4 things for your wife, you're doing good. Just as long as you make sure that you're putting God first and that you are loving your wife as you love yourself. All right? We'll talk next time about the top 4 needs of a man and how to know if you are a good wife.